What if hope isn't the solution, but the problem? What if all the self-help advice we chase is actually making us weaker? And what if facing the uncomfortable truth is the only real path to freedom? Hi, this is Peter, and welcome back to Books for Thoughts. This week, we're looking at the uncomfortable truths about happiness, control, and meaning. Today's book comes from Mark Manson, the author best known for cutting through self-help cliches with brutal honesty. This time, he doesn't just question how we live. He questions how we hope. This is Everything Is Fcked, a book about hope. Most of us think hope is what keeps us alive. We wake up because we hope tomorrow will be better. We work hard because we hope success will mean happiness. We cling to relationships because we hope they'll complete us. But Manson flips the script. He argues that hope is actually a form of bargaining. It says, things aren't good enough right now, but if I just reach that next milestone, it will all be better. And that's the trap. Because the moment we get what we want, the hope shifts again. The finish line moves. Suddenly, we need something else to chase. Instead of living, we're always waiting. Instead of being, we're always bargaining with a future that never arrives. Manson puts it this way: inside us are two voices: the thinking brain, rational, logical, great at making plans, and the feeling brain, impulsive, emotional, and driven by desire. We like to believe the thinking brain is in charge. That logic is steering the ship. But in reality, the feeling brain holds the wheel. The thinking brain is more like a lawyer, justifying decisions the feeling brain has already made. It explains, it rationalizes, but rarely does it control. This matters because hope often comes from the feeling brain. It whispers, if I just get that new job, I'll finally be happy. And the thinking brain plays along, mapping out the steps. But deep down, it's just another emotional chase. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Freedom isn't about doing whatever you want. It's about responsibility. When we're truly free, there's no one else to blame. Not parents, not society, not the economy. Just us, our choices, our consequences. And that's terrifying because it's easier to cling to hope than to face the full weight of freedom. Hope says, things will be better when. Freedom says, this is on me, right here, right now. That's why so many of us resist true freedom. We'd rather live in a fantasy of tomorrow than in the responsibility of today. We try to control life. We plan, schedule, hustle, optimize. But the truth is, control is an illusion. We don't choose where we're born. We don't choose who we love. We don't choose the tragedies or miracles that shape us. Manson argues that the only thing we truly control is how we respond. And here's the kicker. That's enough. Because while control is limited, responsibility is infinite. We may not control the storm, but we choose how to sail through it. At the heart of Manson's argument is a simple, painful truth. Life is suffering, not in a depressing way, but in a clarifying way. Pain is the default. Happiness is temporary. But instead of running from pain, we can choose which pain is worth it. The pain of discipline, the pain of honesty, the pain of responsibility, because those pains create meaning. And meaning is stronger than hope. Hope can feel like oxygen, but Manson warns that it can also become a drug. Think about it. Religions, governments, companies, they all sell hope. Hope for salvation, hope for success, hope for happiness. But the more we rely on outside hope, the less we rely on ourselves. It becomes dependency, and dependency always comes with control. This is why dictators, cult leaders, and even toxic relationships thrive. They sell hope, and in exchange, they take freedom. When hope becomes a leash, it stops being hope. So what's the alternative? Manson introduces what he calls anti-hope. It doesn't mean giving up. It means stopping the endless chase for someday. It means accepting life as it is, flawed, messy, painful, and still choosing to live fully. Anti-hope is courage. It's saying, even if nothing gets better, I will still show up. Even if there's no grand reward, I will still love, still work, still care. It sounds dark, but in reality, it's liberating. Because when you stop waiting for life to improve, you're finally free to live it. Of course, Manson doesn't argue for nihilism. He's not saying nothing matters. He's saying that meaning matters more than hope. Hope is always about the future. Meaning is what anchors us now. Meaning comes when we connect our suffering to something larger. When the pain we choose is in service of love, of contribution, of creation. Hope says, I'll feel whole when I get there. Meaning says, I am whole because this struggle is worth it. And that shift from hope to meaning is what turns suffering into strength. Here's the paradox. The more we accept suffering, the more we grow. When we avoid pain, we stay fragile. When we face pain, we expand. Think about a workout. Muscles only grow when they tear. The same is true for our spirit. Manson's point is blunt. Stop chasing an easy life. Instead, choose a worthy struggle, because that's where growth and freedom actually live. And this brings us back full circle. The book is called Everything Is Fcked, but really it's about hope. Not the fragile hope that says, I'll be happy when, but the deeper kind that comes when you no longer need hope at all. It's the strength to face reality, unpolished, unfiltered, unfair, and still find meaning. That's the kind of hope that can't be sold, can't be taken, and can't be broken, because it's already here, inside you. So maybe everything is fucked, but maybe that's not the problem. Maybe it's the starting point. If this reflection sparks something in you, I encourage you to pick up Everything Is Fcked by Mark Manson and sit with his words in your own time. Books like this aren't just read, they linger, they irritate, they push you to see differently. And if you enjoy these raw, honest breakdowns of books that don't sugarcoat life, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Books for Thoughts. Every week we share 10-minute explorations that challenge your mind, soften your heart, and maybe, just maybe, change the way you live tomorrow. Until next time, stay awake, stay strong, and remember, hope isn't something you find. It's something you outgrow.